Summarize for you. I'll have the report for you within 2 days. I'll FedEx it back down to you. But where you are on Liberty, I'm born and raised here, so I've done this 28 years, so I have pretty good knowledge of this, and I've inspected a lot of property on Liberty Street itself over the years. Liberty Street has its own cachet. It's still location, location, location. For San Francisco, Noe Valley, this is a very good street, excellent street. So, and this Victorian, this vintage Italianate Victorian has its own cachet also. It's how this was built originally is about as good as you get for a Victorian. The foundation here, they have a double wall foundation. The brickwork is still in very good shape. They haven't done any seismic retrofit upgrades, but there's a question whether you even need to do that. On my report, I am going to mention about putting in some post beam connectors, mostly up here, down in this sub area. On the whole, though, this is it's a very good Victorian. But with Victorians, you will always have to do items. It's usually about weatherproofing is the main issue on a Victorian. It's painting, which the painting in this case, it's not only water blast, prime, caulk, seal, and finish coats, it's also about renailing. Because on Victorians, they have older growth redwood. The redwood itself is in great shape, but the nails tend to rust out. So sometimes you have to replace the nails. So when you scaffold this building to paint it, you should have a carpenter come and re-nail the areas where needed. On the back side of this property, there's a lot of foliage that needs to be cut back from it because the foliage is actually going on the roof. I've taken photographs of that. The biggest flaws I found on this inspection is really about your windows. There's a lot of broken sash cords, windows that don't stay up, basically. You have some wood decay on some of the windows. Relatively easy to fix. It's just getting a window contractor in here. There are some double pane windows in the back, but mostly none in the front and on the sides. They're mostly older windows. Some windows absolutely need to be replaced, like in the back staircase. It's broken and it's very rotted when you're going up the back stairs. The back stairs themselves are a little non-conforming. They're not standard 7-11, 11-inch tread, 7-inch rise. They're a little narrow. From a child safety issue, if you live in the upper unit, you might be careful. You'd put in some guard rails on the rail system itself, and you have to be careful of the children going down the stairs because they're pretty steep. The biggest issue on the termite report will be the side deck system over here. It's basically, if you want to keep it going, it'll last maybe another 5 years. But there's just scattered wood decay. To me, it's an all or nothing. You just either rebuild it or just keep it going for about 5 years. You're not going to fall through. It's just, but when you go underneath it, you can see there's just a lot of wood decay, and you can't really piecemeal fix it. It's kind of beyond that at this point in time due to the age. That's probably 30 years old. The rear deck looks fine. I don't have any issues on that. Your roof system is basically fine. There's a few things. There's a little bit of ponding in some of the gutter areas. That can be addressed, relatively minor. Again, it's cutting back this foliage on the roof. The fireplaces shouldn't be used, although only one is being used, and it's a stove unit, which that's probably okay. But the Victorian fireplaces are unlined brick flues. They're not safe to use. They're decorative only. So you could convert it to gas if you wanted, let's say in the upper unit, but I wouldn't use them. Don't use them for wood burning. Wood burning is bad anyway. From a health, if you have 2 children too, you shouldn't use them. Electrically, there's a few things I'm going to have. You have some non-grounded outlets, relatively minor on the electrical. The priorities here are your termite report recommendations. Did they include the windows on there? I haven't seen them.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, so that's your big ticket item. It's really about the termite report recommendations, and then I'm recommending that you have a sewer lateral inspection because we had an '89 earthquake. It's important that you have the sewer line checked. I don't want you walking into a $15,000 sewer issue. Beyond that, in the units, the two of the lower units, the shower surrounds. It's about the shower surrounds. They have loose tiles. They need to be replaced. Was that on the July report?
The one in the back he mentioned, but not the one in the front.
Yeah.
77B.
Yeah. So both of them are loose, actually. So again, you know, you got time. You don't have to deal with it right away. As a rental, I probably wouldn't deal with it right away. Once the tiles start coming off, then you have to rebuild this around at that point in time. Beyond that, it's just scattered wood decay. It's at the door jambs, it's a little bit on the front stairs, it's a little bit on the rear stairs, it's obviously over here. It's just scattered decay, and I've taken pictures of that. I haven't checked yet, but I'll have these all photographed for you. That's pretty much it.
Okay.